Hari Shri Hari Om Shri Gainshya Nama. The Mahabharata and other epic texts begin with this. After bowing to Narayana and the best of men, and through the telescope of Shyamganj, the hidden Narayana appears. Lord Shri Krishna, the inner controller and the supreme Narayana along with his 9 gems, reveals their true meaning. One should honor him and his father Lord Vyasa, destroy attachments like the flute's allure, and conquer the heart by reading the Mahabharata. Hail Om, I bow to Lord Vasudeva, Om Namo Pitamaha, Om Nama Prajapati, Om Nama Shivaya, Om Nama Sarvavinayaka. Keep this in mind. Agreshra, the son of Lamaharshan, was considered one of the best in the annual Puranic gatherings. Once, when the clan leader was holding a satsang in the Naimisharanya region on March 12, Sharma, with great humility, approached the fasting employees sitting nearby. When the 89th husband saw that Shriva was ahead in our ashram, people surrounded him to listen to his stories. With folded hands, Shriva greeted everyone respectfully and asked thoughtful questions about their penance and hospitality. All the sages and monks then took their seats as instructed and followed his orders. After sitting comfortably on his seat and resting peacefully, someone asked him a question to start the story. "Sworn, where have you been all this time? Where did you spend your time so far?" Sharmajai replied. "Until my restricted birth, I hadn't subscribed anywhere. During that time I was involved with the Mahabharata, the epic created by Lord Krishna and the ancestral picture stories. After that, I traveled to many pilgrimage sites and ashrams and came to the local council in this region, where the great war between the Kauravas and Pandavas had taken place. From there, I am here with you all. I've come to see you all, you're long-lived and devoted to the ultimate truth. Like the radiant sun of divine energy, you've moved beyond rituals like chanting, fire ceremonies, and have become pure and focused, working actively. This sacred text, created by youthful minds with deep insight, has been honored by great sages and gods alike. It's filled with unique verses and rich meanings, blending love and righteous justice throughout. The explanations are top-notch, beautifully decorated with wisdom at every step. It's a scripture that stirs passion, covering the entire history of the Bharata lineage, and it truly lives up to its revered status. Vaishampayana on the orders of Krishna, narrated to King Janamejaya music, that the same sacred, sin-destroying Ayurveda by Lord Vyasa is what we want to hear. So Congress Shivji said, "Isn't Lord Krishna the source of everything? That I am the inner knower, the supreme Lord, the master of all yoga, praised by everyone as the ultimate truth, the Omkar form of Brahman. I am eternal, the original being, the existence itself, both the material and the spiritual. I am both the manifested and the unmanifested, and from both comes the vast universe made up of the subtle and the gross. This is the ultimate truth of creation. The life-giver is the best and eternal. I alone am the bringer of good fortune. After the word mangal, auspicious, there's nothing more auspicious. They are innocent and supremely pure." This moving master, after paying respects to the charming Rishikesh, narrates the amazing deeds of Lord Vyasa's sacred creation, the Mahabharata. Many talented scholars on this earth have described this history before. We will do it now and continue to do so. This supreme knowledge is immediately established in the 3 worlds. Some describe it briefly, others in detail. Its vocabulary is pure and auspicious. It includes many gods and there's no clear description of human dignity here. At that time the world was filled with knowledge and light, but also darkness. A huge cosmic egg appeared, and from that came the origin of all beings. This egg was immense and radiant. Khusro described the eternal, true, radiant Brahman. "I am the Brahman light, the inconceivable, omnipresent cause and form." Similarly, from that, Prajapati Brahma appeared as the father figure. Tantra mentions 10 Prajapatis, Daksha among them, along with 7 sons and 14 sages. From them came Vishnu, the gods, the sun, Aditya, Vasus, and the Ashvini Kumaras. The 2 peaceful beings, ghosts, cattle, ancestors, Brahma, sages, kings, sages, water, dust, earth, air, sky, directions, years, seasons, flesh, lunar phases, day and night, and everything in the world, all of these come from the same cosmic egg. This whole moving and unmoving universe arises from it, and time causes it to dissolve back into the Supreme Soul, just like when seasons bring out many signs that appear and disappear as they change. This cycle of time, through which all creation and destruction happen, has no beginning and no end and keeps going powerfully. In short, there are 33,333 gods. The number is 136,333, and in Bagpat there was a sunless deva named Vivaswan who had the power of vision and soul energy. Savita the sun was a key figure along with Banu, Asha, Ravi and Manu. Manu had 2 sons, Devbat and Superbat. Superbat had 3 sons, Das Jyoti, Jyoti and Swast Jyoti. All 3 were talented and knowledgeable. The president had 10,000, Jayanti had 100,000, and Swast Jyoti had 1,000,000 sons. I call them Guru Yadav Burrit. The Ikshvaku and others were known for their lively spirit and close bond with living beings. According to tradition, Lord Vyas sees all people across past and future. The mysteries of the present, karma, devotion, knowledge, obsession, practice, strategy, yoga, dharma, wealth, and desire. Who truly understands these fully on a Thursday? This text lays out the entire history and the meaning of all these powers in an organized way, explaining that Lord Vyasa has described this great knowledge both in detail and in parts. Scholars interpret knowledge in different ways. Using the power of penance and celibacy, they divided the Vedas and created this song, wondering how this child should be nurtured. When Lord Vyas heard about this idea, Ambani came to him happily for the public good. Seeing him, Lord Veda Vyas was very surprised. He held a meeting with his ministers, folded his hands in respect, and welcomed him by seating him on a chair. After the warm welcome by Brahmaji's command, he sat down with them. Then the person smiled happily and said, "Lord, I have composed a great poem. In it, I included Vedic and worldly knowledge, all foreign universities, the Upanishads, Vedas, Shukra, history, Puranas, and stories of the past, future, and present, as well as old age, death, and fear. The impact of disease, the rules of the ashramas and varnas, the essence of dharma, penance, celibacy, the earth, moon, sun, planets, stars, constellations, and yogas. All are described along with their measurements in the Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, and Atharvaveda. It also talks about spirituality, festivals, medicine, charity, animals, stones, the origin of gods and humans, Yudhishthira's sons, rivers, mountains, and Thursdays. Even caste, numbers, and the supreme soul are mentioned. But no one on earth takes it seriously. That's the real concern. Since you are knowledgeable, I consider you superior even to the greatest sages and ascetics. Since you naturally create the true Vedanta through your speech, it's right to call your work poetry. It's famous precisely because it's called poetry. No one in the world can create a poet greater than you. When you set out to write your text, remember Lord Ganesha. As the story goes, Brahma gave you the task and Vyasa called upon Ganesha. Once Ganesha agreed, the work flourished. The scholar Kalpit asked Ganesha to come, so he was worshipped and seated. Then he prayed, saying, "Lord, I have composed the Mahabharata in my mind. I speak, and you transcribe." He said that if my pen doesn't stop even for a moment, I can keep writing. The person is fine, but don't write without understanding. Ganesh Jai accepted writing with a tathastu, so be it. Lord Vyasjai created some curious shlokas that are like knots in this scripture. Regarding these, it's firmly stated in Pune that 8,500 people know the meaning. Shukdev knows, Sanjay knows, but whether that's true or not is uncertain. Especially in this scripture, you can't explain the meaning without thinking it through. So what about Dinesh Jai from Sarvan when, even for a moment, the meaning of those shlokas? While Maharshi Vyas was still thinking, he had already created many other cities. This Mahabharata, woven with knowledge and delight, is meant to open the eyes of people lost in the darkness of ignorance. It destroys people's ignorance by thoroughly explaining the four aims of life: dharma, duty; artha, wealth; kama, desires; and moksha, liberation. Purnachandra of India subscribed to it and developed its model. This history and light have been shared with the world. Lord Shri Krishna has provided a detailed account of the entire lineage in this text, along with explanations of dharma in every context. The truth behind the appointment of the line is described, and the glory of Lord Krishna is revealed. The Mahabharata is like a wish-fulfilling tree for all poets. It's the ultimate foundation on which everyone will build their own poetry based on devotion. Those who study the Mahabharata have all their sins wiped away because it describes the most sacred deeds of divine sages like Dev Dikshit, Brahma Rishi, and other gods. It contains pure offerings and the hymns of Lord Krishna sung throughout, embodying the ultimate truth and supreme, unchanging knowledge of the divine. Wise people praise their qualities every day, fully recognizing their importance. Their immense power shapes the world, and their spiritual progress is truly priceless. They embody the pure essence of the universe. By focusing their minds through meditation, they contemplate these qualities, become enlightened, and free themselves. Like a reflection in a mirror, they see the entire world within them. This scripture is filled with their character, so reading it frees one from sin. The essence of the Mahabharata is truth and immortality, as shown throughout history. It's best to determine things through history and ancient texts. Some people are afraid that the truth about India might get distorted when judged by certain standards. Back then, the importance of this was proven more through the four Vedas. Because of devotion and respect, it's called the Mahabharata. Practices like penance, study, Vedic rituals, and selectivity all aim to purify the mind. When done with pure intention, this text especially emphasizes growth. So, while studying the Mahabharata, one should maintain a pure mindset. In the concise Mahabharata, the early chapters highlight the sharpness of those born in difficult times and the importance of serving a guru. The glory is that Shivji said, look, in the area where I was with my brothers at Kurukshetra, there were 3 brothers named Shruti, Hassan and Hussein. At that time someone named Pata or Janimjaya beat him up. Babe of them went to his mother, crying and shouting. The mother asked, son, why are you crying? Who hit you? He said, they beat me yesterday. The mother said, son, you must have done something wrong to them. The son replied, no, I didn't. He looked to the future and didn't say a word, claiming he hadn't done anything wrong. Hearing this, his mother was deeply upset, and during Janimjaya's yajna she said angrily, my son didn't even look at the enemy nor did he harm him, so there's no reason to beat him. Janimjaya and his brothers didn't respond to this, and the dog said, you have punished my son without cause. Because of this, a great brother will suddenly come to you from the directions. Hearing this curse from the dog, Janimjaya became sad and worried, and after this ended, he returned to Hastinapur. Someone came looking for a yoga priest who could calm this trouble. One day, while hunting, after wandering around his kingdom for half an hour, he found an 8th person in an ashram where only a farmer named Shravan lived. Her husband's son was named Paschim Shukravar Janmajaya. They decided to make Rishi's son the priest. They greeted Shiva respectfully and said, Lord, your son should become my Rohit. The Rishi replied, my son is a great ascetic, accomplished and prosperous. He can calm all your problems, but only if he moves at the speed of a racing Mahadev's evening. This is about a secret vow. If you can do it, then go ahead. Janimjaya accepted the sage's command. On Monday he came to Hastinapur and told his brothers, I've made up my mind that you all must follow this order without any delay. His brothers agreed to obey. They attacked the enemy's fort and won over Ajay. Around the same time in Ayodhya there was a sage named Nam. He had 3 main disciples, Lord Vishnu, Manu and Vivi. One of them was from the Panchal region. One day they sent him to fix the field's bund. Following the teacher's orders, he went to the modern field, and even though he got tired while working hard, the bund still wasn't fixed. Frustrated, he came up with an idea. He laid down at the spot where the bund was supposed to be, and that stopped the water from flowing. After some time back in Ayodhya, the teacher asked his disciples, where that guy? One disciple replied, you sent him to fix the field's bund, right? The teacher then said to his disciple, come on, let's go where he is. When they got there, the teacher called out, where are you, son? When the teacher recognized Ward, he didn't get up right away. Instead, he came over and said, sir, it's me. Ward was about to leave the system, but when no one could stop him, he just lay down where the maid was. Then, hearing your voice, he came forward to serve you. He bowed at your feet and said, please tell me what to do. The teacher said, you broke my order and stood up, so your name will be Uddalak. But seeing your devotion, I bless you and say, son, because you followed my command, even more good will come to you. All the weather scriptures say that Ranbir from the village went to his place, and in Ayodhya there was another disciple named Kurup. Acharya sent him saying, son, protect the people. Following Acharya's order, the scientist set out. After spending the whole day at home, when he reached the joint Acharya's ashram, it was crowded. They greeted him and Acharya said, son, you look strong and sturdy, what do you eat and drink? He replied, I survive by begging. Then someone said, son, I request you not to eat the mixture, and the police accepted the killer's statement. Now, after making a wish, he would present it, and the teacher had watched the whole situation carefully. Even if I returned to the guru's place by evening the next day and greeted the teachers, one day a close friend said, let's have something to eat and drink. He replied, sir, first I want to present my wish to you, then I'll eat and drink. Panchal said, do it like this. The senior brahmachari assigned near the guru noticed that you're disturbing the concentration of other students, and this shows your true nature. This was something to think about. Accepted it and started again. In the evening he came to Guruji and bowed at his feet. The teacher said, son Manu, I'll take all your initiation this time. You don't ask a second time, yet you're really stubborn. You live in your dreams thinking, God, I can manage my life despite all the troubles. The teacher said, son, it's not right to drink the village milk without my permission. He accepted this explanation too, and then both offered something and in the evening attended the service and bowed. The teacher asked, son, if you beg without my permission, what's the point? You even stopped drinking milk, so what do you eat and drink then? They said, sir, on birthdays, bobbies switch from their mother's milk. I said, all right. The teacher said, Hanuman, this alcohol is very pure, please accept it kindly. They said, if you do this, you're disturbing their lives, so I shouldn't drink it either. He obeyed the teacher's order. Since all food and drink options were closed, he became so hungry and restless that one day he decided to open this leaf. His past was dry, and by devouring the devotees who gave him sharp insight when he arrived, he lost the light in his eyes. He wandered in his heart and fell into a well. The sun set, but Mani's teacher didn't come to the ashram. Char asked the disciple, Manu didn't come, where's the training? The disciple said, sir, he went to graze the cows. Char said, I've shut all the doors to Mani's food and drink. He must have sneaked out, that's why he hasn't come back yet. Let's go find him. Then he called out loudly in the forest with the experts, where's the least insult? Come on. Son, now you recognize Ward 4, right? He shouted loudly, I fell into this pickle. The teacher asked, how did you fall? He said, I went blind after eating your leaves and fell here at school. Azad said, you should praise the divine doctor Akshay Kumar, he'll fix your eyes. Then they worshipped Ashwini Kumar from the moon for the Vedas. Pleased by the worship from Show More and Manu, Akshay Kumar came to them and said, "Are you playing the whole game? The company said so and you're right. But without the teacher's permission I can't. I can't follow the order." And Ashwini Kumar said, "Earlier your teacher was also in our position and we helped him out. He even appointed that person as his guru. Just like Suraj did, you should do the same." Then, folding his hands, he earnestly pleaded with you all, "I can't come without the Acharya's permission." Ashwini Kumar said, "We're not happy with you because of this blind devotion to your guru. Your teeth will turn to gold, your eyesight will be restored, and you'll be blessed in every way." And by Ashwini Kumar's command, the world. Student came to the teacher and told him everything that had happened. The teacher smiled and said, "According to Ashwini Kumar's words, you will be well and all the Vedas and scriptures will naturally be understood by your mind." Yo-Yo Dhammika was the third disciple, a physician. The teacher said to me, "Son, stay at my house for a few days and start your journey. Your well-being is assured." Muslim stayed there for many days following Guru Shiva's instructions. Every day he would go to the bank and help out. Despite hunger and thirst, he served diligently and never disobeyed any order. After a long time, Acharya was pleased and took care of their well-being and knowledge. When someone returned from the brahmacharya ashram to the regular ashram, even then, we never ordered them to do any work or serve the guru. They knew the pains of the guru's household and didn't want to cause any suffering to the disciples. Once King Janamejaya and his chief described Acharya Ved as their priest. Whenever he went out for some work, he would appoint his disciple Uddam to take care of the household. One time, after returning from selling assassins, "I heard a lot of praise about your disciple Uddam's good conduct. Son, you have done great service by following the path of Dharma. I am pleased with you and all your wishes will be fulfilled. Now go and pray for the north." "Acharya, which favorite thing should I send to friends?" Akshar first agreed but then said, "Ask your wife." When Uddam asked the teacher, he said, "When you go near the wings, bring Aaron a quintal of rice, because on the fourth day I will wear it and serve food to the Brahmins. Doing this will bring you welfare. Otherwise it's not like I just walked away from there. I saw a big solid proof was put up on the wall. I addressed the person in charge and told him, open that book again. But it didn't happen. Then honestly your teacher must have eaten it. Don't overthink it, just accept it. It's like eating dung and urine." Because of the questioner, without stopping I kept moving on. I went to the king by the pond, gave him my blessings and said, "I've come to ask you for something." Understanding the meaning of the rumor, I went inside and reached the queen's place, somewhere in Uttam Kumar. I didn't see it, but when he came back he scolded me well, saying there's no queen in space. I said, "Okay, my wife is so devoted that she can't even look at impure or unclean people." In this book Simran said, "Yes, I chose you while walking." The scientist said, "Fine, but just walking and doing it is forbidden, so you're lying. Until now you've been sitting facing east, washing your hands and feet, aiming to reach a high level with pure water, and you washed twice." Then, when going to Anantapur, politics got involved, thinking the north was worthy, so he, with a quintal per hectare, he warned cautiously that Nagraj Takshak carries this quintal and might steal it if you're not careful. In March, while leaving, the commissioner noticed a naked corpse following him, sometimes appearing, sometimes disappearing. Once trying to get a proper hit, the dream quintal suddenly vanished, and Nagraj Takshak entered that world. Using Indra's thunderbolt, the system chased him all the way to Naglok. In the end, scared, Takshak gave up, and just in time his guru appeared. When I arrived near, I greeted them with respect and received their blessings. Around 3:30, after getting permission, I came to the great city of Hastinapur. I was extremely angry at Takshak. He was a man who wanted revenge. By that time King Janamejaya of Hastinapur had already returned victorious from Takshashila. Takshak said, "O king, your father sent people to protect you, but he was betrayed by them. Now you must take revenge. So you performed the ritual and used the sacred fire to punish that sinner, which brought satisfaction. Hey son, haven't I made you a communist too? If you all turn 70, then you'll have avenged your father's death and I'll be happy as well." Ajay, here's a brief intro to the Mahabharata's beginning about how the Samiti was born. They asked Sumitranandan after his operation to tell the story of the sage Rishi, who went into the tough Sar region and protected King Nagraj Takshak. "I want your answer to be sweet and beautiful, just like your father would have wanted. Tell us a story like the one Sharma Jai mentioned. Where did Ayushman go?" If you've heard the story of wealth from your father's mouth, then I'll tell you the same. In the Satya Yuga, Daksha Prajapati had two daughters, Kadru and Vinata. They were married to sage Kashyap. When he happily declared them his wives, he said, "Whatever you wish, it shall be granted." Kadru said, "I want 1,000 strong and sharp-witted sons, superior in body and mind, better than all others." Shiva then said, "So be it." Both daughters were pleased and were instructed to protect their pregnancies carefully, promising that their children would lead a great life. When the time came, Kadru laid 1,000 eggs and Vinata laid 2. The maidservants happily wrapped them in warm clothes. After 500 years, Kadru's eggs had hatched, but Vinata's 2 hadn't. "Don't bother with those 1,000 eggs," someone said. "I'll become a priest if these 2 don't hatch." Vinata herself carefully tended to 1 egg. The baby inside was confirmed by Srivastava, but the lower half of its body hadn't formed yet. The newborns, angry, cursed their mother. "Mom, you've made us wait for years with unfinished business. Because of you, the maidservants will serve for another 500 years. If your teeth do that like mine did, and you folded the other egg too, then the child inside was deformed. I did the same, but I will free you from this curse. If you want my second child to be strong, then patiently wait for 500 years. With this curse the child rose to the sky and became the charioteer of gold. The pride of Pratap's son that glimpses in her. That child was named Ern. Once upon a time, two sisters were wandering together when Meena saw a high, salty horse nearby. I am Ashok Vrat. Amrit emerged during the churning of the ocean and was the best among all the demons, beautiful, divine, and full of all good qualities. When they saw it, both of them started describing it to each other like this. Shonaka asked Shravan, where did the gods churn the ocean to get Amrit? Because during the churning some kind of rock horse appeared. Hearing this, sage Shonaka asked and told them to narrate the story of the Amrit churning. Shravan said, there's a mountain called Shukra in the directions, so tall that even the brightest peak of humanity pales in comparison, towering above the tallest buildings reaching the sky. The demons gathered together to fight for the nectar. Lord Narayan appeared and everyone was told to subscribe to him because, as a blessing, they would receive the nectar. The gods asked Lord Narayan to bring Mount Mandarach, which was as tall as the clouds, about 11,000 yojanas high with peaks soaring above and just as deep below. When all the gods used their full strength and still couldn't move it, they went to Lord Vishnu and Lord Brahma and prayed, please, you both find a way to uproot Mount Mandarach for our well-being and help us. One evening after hearing the evening prayer, Lord Narayan and Lord Brahma encouraged Sheshnag to uproot Mandarachal. So Sheshnag along with the forest dwellers started moving Mandarachal towards the Devgan seashore. They told the sea, we will give you birth for the nectar. The sea agreed to share the nectar. Both gods and demons accepted the sea's proposal and agreed on the plan. The mountain was placed on the sea, and it was decided that the nectar would not be stolen. The mountain was carried on their backs. Meanwhile, Lord Indra, the king of gods, was. Mandarachal started to spin, and looking at it like this, the letters formed Mandarachal into a churning stick and Vasuki Nag's rope to begin the churning of the ocean. Vasuki's nose pointed forward and his tail faced Ashvatara's direction. Because of being pulled repeatedly, he became famous by the name Vas. Along with Agneya, it began happening that soon clouds would form, and those clouds looked tired and worn out. But just as they were about to settle from the top of this mountain, a shower of flowers started falling. It felt like a serious doubt was arising in the mother's mind. Trees on the mountain began crashing into each other and falling, their roots catching fire. Indra then sent the clouds. By flowing water to calm it, children started sucking milk and fruit juices. And scenes as impactful as nectar from posters began appearing in the sea. On the golden Mandarachal, many divine effects formed, and gods started receiving nectar from the water connected to the precious gems. Because of the mixture of those excellent trees, the ocean water turned into milk. Meanwhile, another method was developing. The gods, exhausted and worn out, told Brahma, except for Lord Narayan, all other gods are tired. Time has passed in the middle of the ocean, but nectar hasn't emerged yet. Brahmajai said to Lord Vishnu, Lord, please enable them, you are the only one who can. Lord Vishnu replied, I'm giving power to those who are involved in this task. Everyone put all their strength into churning Mount Mandara and purifying the ocean. As soon as Lord Vishnu said this, the gods and demons started churning with great force. The ocean got purified, and at that moment countless drops fell, revealing a bright, moon-like figure. After the moon appeared, devotion, Lakshmi, and other divine beings also emerged. At the same time, the divine horse Anashravan was born on Lord Narayan's chest. The accused Kaustubh Mani and the forest officer Lakshmi Sunachandra Haira will all travel through the sky route among the gods. Special religious Damvantari Dev appeared with a dam holding a pot filled with nectar. Those who were stopped in this area were amazed by this incredible miracle. There was a huge commotion with everyone shouting, this is mine, that's mine. Then a massive chariot made of 46 elements emerged and was given access to the internet. When the ocean was churned extensively, poison called Kalikut came out, spreading filth and dulling people's consciousness. Through Brahma's prayers, Lord Shiva appeared. He took it to heart that Tapish and Nilkanth became famous by that name. Seeing all this, the Danavas lost hope of getting the nectar and Lakshmi. They started fasting and there was opposition and conflict. At that moment, Lord Vishnu took the form of the enchantress Mohini and went to the Danavas. The fools, fooled by her illusion, gave her the pot of nectar. Everyone was totally mesmerized by Mohini's charm. In this way, Lord Vishnu, disguised as Mohini, distributed the nectar and wealth to the gods who drank it. At the same time, the Rahattans also took the form of gods. As soon as he started drinking the nectar, the moon and sun, who had taken the form of the nectar's guardian, revealed themselves. Lord Vishnu cut off his head with his discus. When Rahu reached the mountain peak, he flew up into the sky and roared. The rivalry between Rahu the moon and the sun became permanent. After giving the nectar, Lord Vishnu gave up his disguise and began to scare Ashru with various exercises and weapons. Then, a fierce battle broke out on the ocean shore with all kinds of weapons raining down. Lord Vishnu's discus. When someone cuts and chops so violently that obscene blood starts boiling, and others get injured by the god's thunderous power, it feels like a lottery on earth. All around you hear shouts like hit, cut, run, knock down, chase, call. Such a fierce battle was going on that Lord Vishnu's two forms, Nar and Narayan, appeared to be fighting. The divine sight showed Prince Narayan recalling his tractor, and at that moment, shining bright like the sun, he swung his chakra with great force. Hearing Lord Narayan's shout, everyone was urged to subscribe, and this celebration soared into the sky, involving many senior leaders. Keep injuring him. At that time, the southern municipality did this, cutting off the peaks in the sky and giving the Sudarshan chakra like a special weapon. This is like a tiny piece affected by it. Ashwagandha hid in the ocean, respectfully honoring the father's war ministry. Everyone was in their own place. The gods, led by Ravindra, gave the nectar to Lord Naraka to keep it safe from the great infinite. This is the brief story of the churning of the ocean. It's mentioned in the Mahabharata and other texts, including the story of Kadru and Vinata and the jaggery leaf. Shivaji says, through the eyes of Venus, the story of the nectar churning involves high horses. Even after it was born, when you saw that stallion in between, Vinita quickly asked, "So what color is this horse?" Komilta said, "Sister, it's a dark-colored horse from the Shivraj region." Vinita asked, "What color do you think it is?" Kadru said, "Definitely this horse is white but with dark spots." They both bet on this, saying, "If you're right, I'll be your servant. If I'm right, you'll be mine." So the two sisters made a bet and agreed to check the horse the next day, then went home. You did the verification, so you guys are lucky. I ask that I don't have to become a servant just because I wear jeans and a shirt and don't obey her orders. She cursed us, saying that in the next life she will burn me to ashes. It's strange that the elements themselves cursed their own children like this. Hearing this, Brahma and all the gods approved it. Back then, primary schools were very strong. I caused a lot of pain to others, but from the perspective of the people's welfare, it was the right thing to do. Those who care for other beings were praised by the Creator for living this way. What can I do? And Vinata ended up becoming a servant herself. Ramesh spent the night playing cards and applying lots of lotion. Early the next morning, both of them set out to see the horses nearby. After thinking about the question, they decided that they should obey their mother's wishes. If her desire isn't fulfilled, then the whole MP3 picture will be ruined. So happily we freed ourselves from our curse. That's why we decided to blacken the horse's tail. They wrapped the tail strands around the high rocky tail, making it look black. Meanwhile, Kadru and Vinata were betting and watching the sea from the sky route, crossing to the other side. She started going and got down near both horses. Seeing them, she noticed the horses were bright like moonlight in an electric current. Then she wondered if the enemy had made her his servant after seeing this. When the time was up, Mahant Shri Garud, without any help from Mata, went inside and came out. His brilliance lit up the directions, his power, speed, and growth were extraordinary. Like lightning, his friend was suffering, and like a skilled trickster, he was radiant. From birth, he had risen very high in the sky. It seemed as if the mantra was about to increase his power. Got it? Mist spreading everywhere, people seeking refuge from the world, bowing down. If you don't read your share, are you trying to please us? Look, look, do you see our idols, our signs? Agni said, Devgan is not my idol, this bird King Garuda is. Seeing him, people got confused. He's a friend and protector of the gods. He walked safely with me to meet the fire, praised the gods, sages, and perfected beings. The god's secret storage capacity, Garuda said after seeing my statement, those who were scared are now, I'm the belt. Whether or not even a small spark can weaken the body. Happily, one day Vinit was sitting with his son when Kapoor called him over and said, I want to see a magical place underwater where the serpents live, take me there. So Vinit carried Kapoor on his shoulders, obeying his mother's orders. They flew very high, close to the sun, and because of the heat they almost fainted. Vinit prayed to Indra, who cleared the skis, bringing rain so everyone could be happy. When I reached the place, I saw the salty sea, beautiful forests, and more. I accepted it and played around, thinking it felt like being in a womb. I said, you must have seen many beautiful lights flying in the sky. Then I asked to be taken to another light. I got worried and thought about it in 1968. I asked my mother, Mom, why should I follow the commands of these elements? Vinata said, Son, because of these elements I lost the game and unfortunately 15 parts of my fate were affected. I felt very sad about my mother's pain. I told her on the street, Sir, tell me, what should I bring you? Let me find out which kind of fever I should give you so that my mother Sharda and I can be free from the 70 burdens. Tattva said, Garuda, if we give you nectar in our own way, we will free you and your mother from slavery. EPFO 125 says, hearing about the snakes, Guru told his parents, "Mother, I'm going for the nectar, but first I want to know if I'll be able to eat it there." Father said, "Son, there's a kingdom of snakes in the ocean. If you